Hi everyone, finger to me, prints on your glasses so you gotta clean them tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. And it's time for a review of the new Sleigh Bells record, Jessica Rabbit. Sleigh Bells are a kind of polarizing Brooklyn noise pop duo. They've been at it for a while now. This is their fourth full-length album, and I personally will admit that up until this point, I have not really been that big of a fan of Sleigh Bells. I feel like their 2010 album Treats was easily one of the most gimmicky and annoying albums of that year. The music press desperately hyped these guys, only for most of their relevancy to dissipate in the next several years, as I think Sleigh Bells with one album after the next kind of proved they were a one-trick pony. So I gave this new LP a shot over here, mostly out of morbid curiosity, because I thought the lead single, the intro track, the first track on this thing was so mind-blowingly horrendous, mostly because it features this tacked-on chorus that transitions more awkwardly than America from an Obama to a Trump presidency. But once I actually dove further into the track list of this record, I was surprised to find that it's not really bad. It's actually kind of good. And without question, it is their most mature album yet. Now, we are still talking about Sleigh Bells here. Maturity is relative. In a lot of ways, Sleigh Bells is the same loud, bombastic arena pop with blaring guitars and shouty vocals. But the singing is way less bratty on this album, and all of the instrumentals don't really revolve around these brittle, ugly, cock rock guitars, like they sort of did on their previous albums. The guitars on Jessica Rabbit are actually pretty good sounding, like they're actually mixed and recorded really well, and there's a variety of different guitar tones across the album, and it's not just constantly just banging you over the head with guitar riffs over and over and over. The guitars like play a role in a mix of a bunch of different instrumentation, mostly synthetic, but you know, still. There's some airy synths back there, there's some background vocals, a variety of beats, and the songs I think are more well written too. Like I could see them working in different musical contexts and they would still be a catchy song, built on the foundation of solid melodies and choruses. Like with the song I Can't Stand You Anymore, which sounds like at its core the kind of pop tune that a 2000s era pop diva would sing, but with some ballsy, gutsy guitars thrown in there for a little bit more edge. I also love the booming beat and the wild, bright synth horns on the song Crucible. Reminds me a little bit of Battles in a way. And the instrumental break toward the back end of this track with what sounds like 8-bit synths and acoustic guitar samples was a really creative change of pace. I also feel the same way about Throw Me Down the Stairs, which also features a cool change of instrumental pace toward the back end. Sleigh Bells are doing a good job of like bringing some cool little instrumental shifts on these cuts. This track I also want to mention has some of the most aggressive lyrics I've heard on a Sleigh Bells song so far. Kind of sounds like they're reflecting a bit on, I don't know, all the haters they've accrued over the years or something. Krause's vocals are a little clunky on the verse, but I love the song's blaring, heavy, slow fight riffs and the way the track speeds up on the hook. Now, even though I like that there's more compositionally going on with this record, it doesn't always flow very well. Like how I mentioned on the intro track, It's Just Us Now. It's also the case for Unlimited Dark Paths, which features one post-apocalyptic beat and synthscape after another, then switching that out for some like heavy metal style riffs that are very driving, very fast, and
Alexis
Krause is really overpowering the instrumental mix with her vocals. Then there's a sudden change of pace with these cascading pianos just bouncing off of one another toward the end. But I will say, most of Sleigh Bells' experiments and ambitions on this record do pay off. The duo's music is still really gaudy, and you can argue whether or not you think it's in good taste, but undeniably, it is more dynamic. Sleigh Bells is sounding more varied and skilled than they ever have in the past, whether they be crafting a legit pop banger on the song I Can Only Stare, or going really aggressive on the song Rule Number 1, which has a kind of surprising and unexpected rap rock vibe to it on the verses. Delivered with an incredible amount of swagger, to me this cut is one of the most explosive moments on the record. And then the song transitions toward the end into this really sweet ballad that I didn't really see coming, and it's so nice, it's so pleasant that I thought it was a different song entirely, but no, it's just this really great extension of this huge gargantuan track on this record. And there are just a lot more moments on this thing where it's clear that Sleigh Bells is trying to make some kind of lyrical statement here about music, about art, about their rise and I guess sort of fall in music. The indie machine that in a lot of ways they were essentially chewed up in and spit out of. They are in a lot of ways veterans of that, and they now are putting out this record on their own label. So maybe in lieu of that, in their lyrics, they're being a little more honest and open about their past experiences in the music industry. That especially seems to be the case on the song Baptism by Fire. By no means is Jessica Rabbit a perfect record. It gets off to a very rough start. There are a couple of lackluster tracks here and there, and a handful of odd transitional moments where it feels like the band didn't really write a song and they're just trying to write some spacey intermission track to just add a bit of filler into the mix. I don't know. The one track where they do this, where I think it goes over well, is No Not to Count on You. The way the track transitions from these sequenced, rigid synth arpeggios to these gentle acoustic passages matched with
Alexis
Krause's very beautiful background vocals was nice. And the closer on this thing was pretty epic as well, like a bit of a prog synth vibe coming from the tail end of the song. Overall, I think this is a good album from Sleigh Bells. I think it's their best record. Some of you might disagree because I guess it is less hype and the sound is less gimmicky, but I think they're coming out with some good material here. And I hope they're able to keep up momentum with their music and with their fan base into the future now that they've sort of moved onto their own label, because I think this album is a step in the right direction. A direction I hope they can take further with another record in the future. I'm feeling a light 7 on this thing. Transition. Have you given this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe, and please don't cry. Just leave an angry comment if you're pissed. And all sorts of links next to my head, more reviews and subscriptions. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and the website. I hope you're well. Eat some fruits and veggies. Believe in yourself and work toward your dreams forever.